Fifth try. This is Deb with Venus Theatre, coming to you with soothing tea, which includes ginger and a beautiful candle for my meditation, and ready to announce calmly 2017 to a T, Love Notes to a Friend. This is our 17th year producing women's work at Venus Theatre. We're really excited and proud about it. I want you now to meet the playwrights and to hear about the plays, and to know that this entire year is dedicated to a dear friend named Tricia McCauley, who I feel is still with us, but who was taken from us physically on December 25th. I've given it a lot of thought, and I know that this is what's supposed to happen next for me and for Venus Theatre, because we create a counter narrative as feminists and as artists, which will directly combat and hopefully alleviate the dark story. So may she be remembered for her beautiful light in this life.
Hi, it's Andrea, and I completely failed making my first video, so this is my second video, which I hope will work better than my first video. So, what keeps me writing? Really for me, I'm actually quite grumpy if I don't get to write on a particular day. I'm not very good at taking vacations because I am grumpy if I don't write. I can maybe do a day or two, and then I'm really grumpy if I'm not writing. So to keep myself from being grumpy, it keeps me writing, and I often am collaborating with others, and so I keep writing because I owe a libretto, or I owe a screenplay, or I owe, some kind of project to somebody else, and so that contract with another person keeps me writing. And then beyond the deadlines, I often, when I've been on deadline for a long time, I'm yearning to break out of those requirements and be able to do my own new idea. Right now I've been deadline to deadline, and I really have some new ideas coming that I'm really looking forward to getting to. I kind of really plan a year of writing and always pretty much know what's coming next, and I think that's another thing that keeps me writing, is knowing what's coming next. So that's that question. I love being produced at Venus in particular. I love being produced by a women's theater. Still for women playwrights, our opportunities are few and far between. I have been produced by non-women's theaters, but usually, often it's because they've been looking for a woman, because they particularly want to make that effort. I think that we're still trying to fight for parity, and I appreciate everything that Venus does to contribute to parity for women playwrights and women theater artists in general. So I value being at Venus very, 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 very much. You produced Looking for the Pony a couple of years ago, and that was a wonderful, wonderful experience, and I'm delighted to be back. In particular, your physical space. I dreamed of your physical space. I had tunnel vision produced in Pittsburgh in a larger space, and I did the rewrite very much specifically thinking about your beautiful, beautiful intimate space, and how intimate it is with the audience. And for this play, which is a 2-character play, where the two characters are completely in a space where they're lost and they don't know where they are, and they work with objects that are in the space, and they create an installation over the course of the action of the play. And I just really envisioned that this play taking place in your really super intimate environment. So I did a rewrite really specifically for your space, and I'm super excited to see this play there. So thank you for asking these questions, and I'm hoping video number 2 worked. Thanks, bye.
Hello world, this is Claudia Barnett, and I'm here to tell you about my work with Venus Theatre. In 2007, which was 10 years ago, Deb Randall directed a staged reading of my very first full-length play at Venus Theatre. A couple of years later, she directed a staged reading of my very second full-length play at the Kennedy Center, and a few years after that, she directed the world premiere production of number 731, DeGraw Street, Brooklyn, or Emily Dickinson's sister, at Venus. Then, Witches Vanish premiered at Venus as part of the Women's Voices Theatre Festival in 2015, and now Deb will be directing Aglanikes Tiger, my tale of the first female astronomer in ancient Greece, at Venus Theatre in September of 2017. What a joy it is to be coming home to work with people I know and adore and respect. Back in 2013, when I was in the rehearsal room for 731, I remember I looked around at the cast, I looked around at the space, and I said, you guys would be perfect in the play I'm writing now about a girl and her tiger in ancient Greece. This space would be perfect for the play I'm writing now. So that was the fantasy, and now it looks like it might just come true. When Deb first told me she'd be directing Aglanikes Tiger, one of my first thoughts was, I wonder if that means that Neil will be designing the sound. I wonder if that means that Kristen will be designing the lights. These are some of the finest people in the business, and what an honor it is to have the opportunity to work with them again and again. It reminds me of small movies, low-budget cinema, where you have the best directors and the finest actors come together because they believe in a project. What an honor to think that that project begins with a script that I wrote. I can't wait to come back to Venus in September, and I hope that I will see you there.
Right.
Hello Venus Theatre Company, I'm Alana Valentine, and you're doing my play The Ravens this year. It's a rainy summer night in Australia, so you'll hear some crickets and maybe even some flying foxes, what we call fruit bats over here. And there may be some lightning and thunder, but let's keep going. I keep writing because in Australia, women's voices are still massively underheard in our theatre. Whereas I know that in America, you all get to say what you think on the stage all the time. No, I actually know that women's voices all over the world in the theatre continue to be undervalued. And so I keep writing because we have great stories, important stories to tell, and I want to be part of a community of women writers telling those stories. And I know that I am, because this year you are doing my play again, and I'm very jealous that you all got to see my play Soft Revolution, Shafana and Aunt Serena, in your small, beautiful, immersive space. But I know that you, the audience, were a big part of making it the success that I hear it was. And I really hope I can get over to see the Ravens maybe this time. But in any case, I'm thrilled to be part of the Venus season. I'm very excited to be part of a small immersive space, because I think that our stories are really important to hear. And I love being part of a global community at the moment, fighting to hear stories about justice and stories about survival, especially women's stories. So thank you for having me as part of your season, and goodbye from Australia. Have a great launch.